Hi, I'm Becky Bridel, chair of this year's Canvass campaign. Our theme this year is embracing our culture of generosity. I'm so happy to be speaking to you from our beautiful grounds today to kick off the 2021 Canvass campaign. For those of you new to UCM, every fall we ask members and friends to make a financial pledge for the following year to support our church operations, for example, personnel costs, property maintenance costs, including setting aside funds each year for future major property improvements that tend to be expensive, like a roof replacement. Every year can bring changes that impacts one's financial capacity, sending a child off to university, losing a job, retirement. And this has been such a strange and an unsettling year for so many people. Everyone is dealing with the health and financial impacts of COVID-19. We know that some of you may not have the financial resources to support UCM to the extent you have in the past, and we fully understand that. So many of you volunteer countless hours and share your wonderful talents with us, and we thank you so much for those contributions. The board this year has committed to making their financial contributions prior to the official kickoff today as a symbol of their leadership and commitment to UCM. This year, we are again using the Fair Share Contribution Guide that we introduced last year. We will send out the guide along with instructions and frequently asked questions and a link to an online pledge form after this service. Also in that email will be contact information, so if you have any questions, you can reach out to members of the Canvass Committee. We are so grateful that during these times that everyone was able to maintain their monthly pledges in 2020. As mentioned in our recent financial update in the Shining Chalice, in a normal year, we receive approximately $65,000 from renting out our building on days when UCM is not using it. This is aside from the Tiny Treasure lease, which covers the separate building. Normally we receive $65,000. This year we earned less than $10,000, and all of that revenue came to us before UCM was closed. We are so fortunate that the federal government made programs available to Canadian organizations, including UCM, that we were able to use to offset the decline of rental revenue. We were able to access approximately $63,000 in funding to cover some of our operational costs. Unfortunately, these government programs may not continue into 2021, and we expect optimistically that our rental revenues, again aside from Tiny Treasure lease, will be approximately 50% of what they were pre-COVID, as government restrictions on gatherings are likely to continue for the foreseeable future. The Finance Committee has cut expenses wherever they can, but we are also committed to certain principles, such as paying our personnel a fair wage. We will be looking at a sizable deficit in 2021 unless those of you who are able can dig deep and consider increasing your pledge as much as your financial circumstances allow. Personally, I first walked through the doors of UCM 7 years ago. I was never a churchgoer as an adult, or really even as a child. I just went because my parents made me. My daughter wanted to know what church was, and a friend recommended UCM, knowing that I shared many of their values. Before we came, honestly, I thought it would be a one-time visit, but after our first visit, I realized we had found our spiritual home. I was so grateful to find a church that whatever your religious background, your race, your sexual or gender identification, you are welcome here. My daughter and I have made such wonderful friends and have learned so much, and I am so grateful for this community. I'm especially grateful during these stressful times that while it's not the same as being together in our worship hall, I am very grateful that technology allows us to come together to spend an hour or so in our community via Zoom on Sunday mornings. I also appreciate having the Fair Share Contribution Guide to help me determine how best to show my financial support to UCM, and I hope all of you find it helpful as well as we all embrace our culture of generosity. In addition to your financial contributions, I want to thank you once again for all your time and all of your wonderful talents that you share with this beloved community of ours.